Hello and welcome to this tutorial on Fusion 360. This is tutorial 1. So in this video we're going to look at the setup of the software and we're going to have a go at drawing something simple, well, the dice that's in front of you now. So first thing you'll notice when you go into the software is that you've got this grid, which is really quite handy. We'll look at that in a second. And in the top right hand corner you've got a cube, and this cube is your means to rotate your work. And then if you want to look at a particular face, you can click on the face. If you want to look at edge, click at the edge. That's not an edge. There's the edge or the corner. And occasionally, people lose their work like this. And then to find your work again, the easiest thing to do is click on this little home symbol, go back to home view, it brings you back in. So there we are. Now to zoom in and out, you've got the roll ball on your mouse. So push it away and it zooms you out, pull it in and it zooms you in. Or if you're using a laptop, you can pinch on the pad or separate your fingers on the pad. It will zoom in or out. Okay, so to pan, to move left and right, up and down, you click on the roll ball, hold it down, drag it side to side. At the top, we've got this ribbon here. At the minute, it's showing me the modeling tools for the solid models, which are the ones we're going to use today. At the bottom, we've got this sequence of symbols, which are in order of which you did certain things, so they're quite useful. We'll have a look at that. And then we've got the tree over here, which has got origin, bodies, sketches, construction. We'll have a look at editing some of those in a bit as well. So the first thing we'll do is click on this Show Data Panel 9 square thingy, create a new project, give it a name, and then I'm going to open New Design, File, Save, and I'm going to put it in the dice file I've just created. So there it is. We'll call this dice 2, save. I'm then going to minimize this and cross this to give me a full view on my screen. So there we go. First thing I need to do is create a sketch. And with that sketch, I can then turn the sketch into a three-dimensional object. So create sketch. As I click that, I then get these sketch planes that I can select to draw on. So I'm going to select this one. And now it's taken me to a plan view looking straight down at that sketch plane. And then in the ribbon at the top, my drawing tools have changed to two-dimensional sketching tools. So I'm going to use the rectangle tool. I'm going to go to the origin and it'll snap to the origin. So this little datum symbol here, it'll snap to that. So click, left click again, and I've got a rectangle. At the minute it's not dimension, so I've no idea how big it is. So if I go to sketch dimension, click on the line, click above it, I can enter my dimension. So in this case, I'm going to go for 25 millimeters. Same on this one, click there, 25. You can also use this dimension tool to measure angles. So if I measure it from there to there, it'll tell me that that's 90. It won't allow me, well, it will allow me to do it, but it's basically telling me if I do that, I over constrain my drawing. So cancel that, I don't need it. Finish this sketch, and it's taken me to a three-dimensional view of that 2D sketch, and my ribbons returned back to these solid modeling tools. So I'm going to go to the extrude tool, and as I click it, this window pops up over here, which is the dialog box for my extrusion, and it's automatically selected the profile for me, so it says one selected there. As your drawing gets more complex, it won't do that for you, and you'll have to manually select this profile that you'd like to extrude. I've got the arrow handle here, so I can lift that up and down. If you go down, obviously, it extrudes down and up. And the number, if you look at the number, it's gone to minus there. So it's obviously minus because it's going below the sketch. So we're going to take it to 25. And there's a perfect cube, 25 by 25 by 25. I'm going to change the dimensions slightly. So I'll go down to these symbols at the bottom, and I'm going to edit the sketch. So to edit that first sketch, I can double click here. And also that sketch appears in a list of sketches here. We've got an eye with a line through it. That's telling us that the sketch is there, but it's visibility is turned off at the minute, so I can turn it back on. You can't really see it, but that's where it is. So that's that. And then this cube is a body. I can turn the visibility of that on and off. That becomes really useful when you get quite a complex drawing later on and you want to focus on one particular 3D body. So I'm going to change my sketch. Double click on that icon. Double click on the 25. I'm going to change them to 20. Click Finish Sketch. And there we have it. It's changed what was 25 by 25 by 25 to 20 by 20 by 25. So at the minute it's a cuboid. I want it to be a cube. So change this extrude distance again. And at the minute it says distance 25. We want that to be 20. And there's our cube. Perfect. Just what we wanted. Now I'm going to put the dots on it. So I'm going to start a sketch again. My original sketch planes are there, but I can also select these flat surfaces, any of the flat surfaces on here. So I'm going to select the top. We're looking at the top now, plan view, and we've got the grid. If you zoom in, the grid changes. So it's not a set distance between them, but they are really useful. So at the minute, this will be 5, 10, 15, 20. So it divides it up evenly for you. So if I click on my circle drawing tool, it'll snap to the center for me. So I don't have to do any measuring. Click on the center, enter 2.5, click return, and that's my one dot done, finish sketch. And the minute it's just a sketch on a flat surface. I want to make it three-dimensional. So I'll use the extrude tool, select that sketch, and if I go up, it creates a cylinder. If I go down, if you look at this operation here, it says join. If I go down, it changes to cut. And obviously I want to cut, and I want it to go to minus 0.5. Click return, there it is. Zoom out. So as you know, on a dice, the opposing sides add up to 7. So I'm going to flip over, I'm going to put the 6 dots on this side. Create sketch, select the surface, and then we're going to have a go at using the pattern drawing tool to create the 6 pattern more quickly. So I'm going to come along and it's going to snap to that point, and this is actually 5mm from there, 5mm from there, and it's snapping to it, which is really handy. 2.5, and that's done. If I wanted to check the measurement between the center of the circle and the top, I could do that using the dimensioning tool again. So you might have accidentally put it in the wrong place, and that's there. And that's a random measurement. It should be exactly 5. So there we go. So let's, instead of manually adding the dots, we're going to go create rectangular pattern, objects, select the circle, drag the handle this way to that point there, which is 5mm from the outside. Drag this one down to there, so that's 10mm from the top, 10mm that way. But we've got 9 dots at the minute, and we want 6. So I'm going to change this quantity to 2. There's my 6. Finish sketch, home view, flip it over, and there we are. Now we're going to do the same as we did before. So this time though, it's a more complex sketch and it's not automatically selecting the profile for me. So do them all in one shot. So select them all. If you accidentally select something you don't want to, you can click it again and it unselects it. Distance, minus 0.5. And there it is, 6. I'm not going to do the other faces. You can work through that now. So if you had, they should add up to 7. So we had 3 on this side. We'd have 4 on the other side. So now we're going to move on to the fillet tool. It's at the top here. So click on that. I'm going to round over my edges. In a minute, I need to select the edges that I want to round over. So I'll select all the ones I can see. Again, if you accidentally select the wrong thing, you just click on it again and it'll unselect it. And this time I want the radius of the curve, so this dimension here, to be, I'm going to go for 2mm, and it rounds it over for me. So on setback here, you play around with these, you can see which one you prefer. I'm going to go for setback. And then, like on my example here, I'm going to add a fillet to the inside edge of the dot. Same process, fillet tool, select the edges, whoops, and then enter the dimension, so 0.5. And there we go. So that is the solid body, which you can see on the screen there. Obviously I've finished putting the dots on, but that's the process I went through to do that. The next thing we're going to look at is the render tool, just to add a bit of color to it. And to do that, we need to go from the design tab to the render tab, and it changes the view slightly. So rendering is where we take our part, our product, our drawing, and try and make it look a little bit more realistic using colors, textures, lighting, and such like. So I'm going to change the color of my background to start off with. So scene setting up here, color, it's American spelling of color, but there you go. We'll change the background color to white. And that'll work for me now. And then close that. I'm going to use this color wheel here called Appearance. I'll open that up. I'll select Fusion Appearances, and I get this library of different materials, and inside there we'll have different colors. So I can click on Paint. I'm going to go for Glossy, and this says Paint Glossy Black. So I'll use that, and I'll drag it into my Appearance library, drag it onto the part, and it turns the whole part into that color. I need white for my dots, so enamel glossy white. Put that in the library. Now if I drag this onto here now, it turns the whole thing white. So take it back to black. Bodies / components is selected. I'm going to change it to faces. And then I can drag that over and select the exact face that I'd like to be that particular color. It's a bit repetitive, but that's how you do it. Close that. And this is the makings of my dice. Now, if this was finished and I wanted to render it, I've got two options. One is this one here, so it's in canvas render. If I click on that, it kind of gives me a live view of the image as it's getting finer and finer in detail. I can drag this bar across to final or even infinite and leave it running. Go make a cup of coffee, come back to it and see a high resolution, beautiful image. I'm going to stop that. Stop that. Other option I've got is this teapot render here and cloud render, final quality. If I click on render now, it'll start rendering this and it'll appear in my rendering library below. So I'm going to show you on this one. Different color background on that, but there it is in the rendering library. So it exists in my stored, saved in my cloud there, so I can access that again if I want to. Okay. So that's the process that you go through to draw a simple object using the extrusion tool in Fusion 360. In this tutorial, we've worked our way through the sketch, extrude, fillet. We've also played with the pattern tool and had a quick look at render. So in the next one, we'll be looking at the revolve tool and we'll be drawing a mug or a teacup. Okay, so thank you for watching. Hope that was useful. Goodbye.